Arsenal game. They Arsenal
Right.
got slapped
So
on
we're
there.
in. Oh, they did, but they can't. Like I said, they can't hide behind the fact that it wasn't a decent team because you could argue they still had a lot of players that do. It's pretty much the team that plays in the Europa. Right.
Wolves, you might want to mute the TV because they might look it off.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
I
these
forgot
YouTube
about
had
it.
our job, I swear to
No, it
God.
is. I forgot I was still listening to it.
Fam. These men
Right.
are on job.
Did we all play? We all played on Sunday, didn't we? So
Yeah, every team.
we'll get OTC out the
Did you,
way in it
did,
because we'll just get this one out the way.
what you want my assessment on the game? On the game, it's a bit tough because it's a bit tough. Come back to me because I need to wrap myself on that game.
Need to digress.
Yeah. I need to read the lineup again and see who actually played and remind myself how that game went.
Let me get United out of the way, man. Let me get United out of the way. It's pretty simple.
Come on, man. You might not be jumping these things, man.
You gotta go last. You lot played last on the weekend.
Let me get United out of the way. Like, yeah, it's simple. Like, United's problem is the fact that if we don't play our best team, yeah, we seem to struggle, which is bad because ultimately, certain men should do a job, but they don't do a job. I think we all know who they are, so it is what it is. But yeah, like we clearly missed Bruno.
Who is it, bruv? Who is it, bruv? Like,
I need to get you lot. Like, I actually didn't see none of you lot's game for that. So,
like,
well, I use Van der Beek as an example. As much as Van der Beek hasn't played,
like I say,
I use Van der Beek as an example. Obviously, he's not match fit, but then at the same time, like, come in and do a job. Like, the only thing he did, was move into space, which was good because he moved into space. But then he has to demand the ball. Like, he didn't demand the ball. Like, scream at a player, like, and be like, pass me the ball. Like,
what's happening in Van der Beek? I'm confused because I swear Ten Hag used to play him in Ajax. What's going on?
Van der Beek's been injured. Yeah, he just come back from injury. He just played the last 2 games. Yeah, because obviously Bruno's suspended, so obviously he's anticipated.
Oh, is that why Bruno went playing?
Yeah. So he's anticipated. Yeah, but he's anticipated. Yeah, right. Bruno's obviously suspended for the weekend game. Let me play Bruno on the Thursday and then play him on the Sunday. Yeah, in the same position, which he did. But obviously, like I said, Bruno has the demands, like passing the ball. It's already good getting into good spaces, but if you're not demanding the ball and you're expecting him to pass you the ball, then there's an issue because obviously there's a history.
Was he the best player that you had to replace Bruno for this game?
Who's the best player? Well, it'd be Van der Beek, isn't it? They both can play in the number 10. Like, other than that,
how about Eriksen?
No, he's not injured, but Eriksen's been playing well, like in the 2 in midfield, isn't it? So ultimately, you want to keep the same players in the same position as much as you can. Yeah, Eriksen could have played in the 10, but then that means you bring in Fred or McTominay.
Right, so I got a question, because I read
that would have been the better option to bring in Fred and McTominay and play Eriksen further up because
not really.
Personally, for me, Fred has been playing decent when I've seen him. When he's come on, he's been doing a decent job.
So I need to ask a question, So you see, obviously, I only read the headline, So I only watched briefly the highlights from the game on Match of the Day. Obviously, I see Ten Hag was talking about the ball, like balls to Ronaldo. So was players like just constantly whipping in like crosses?
You know what? Yeah. It's the usual stuff.
Like, I didn't see it because I just saw the headline, but because I didn't see the game, I was like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's the usual stuff. You see, it's the usual stuff. Like, obviously, Ronaldo's Ronaldo, isn't it? Like, Ronaldo wants the ball, like, and he wants the ball now, kind of thing. He's not really interested in playing the 1-2s and whatnot unless it's of benefit to him. So really, he just wants the ball. Obviously,
bro, they were whipping in balls from weird places.
Obviously, he's got influence over the likes of Delo and whatnot, yeah. And obviously, if they're not passing the ball, then he gets frustrated. He starts throwing his arms in the air. That's typical Ronaldo stuff, like. But
I'm looking at this team, I'm just like, Other than Van de Beek, like you would pretty much say that's for like basically more or less you
Well,
lost starting 11 because Lindelof's in obviously for what's his name because he's injured.
Lindelof replaced
Oh wait,
obviously
and then
Varane.
Garnacho was playing.
Obviously, there was no Anthony.
What is he still? Is
Obviously, no,
he like injured or?
he's injured. He's injured. He's injured. Don't ask me what the injury is because no one knows, but he's injured.
I'm pretty
You
sure
know
the
the
live
ones that
score
no one
listed him
knows,
as
yeah?
illness.
No,
was
you know
when he
the
did
ones
that
that no one
dribble,
knows,
innit?
yeah? Bruv,
It
he
was
done a
when he
madness.
did that through
Like,
the
we see
But I
what
don't know what the
can.
injury. I don't know what the injury is, or what Ten Hag keeps saying in the press conferences. He's got a knock. Like he's got no reason to lie. Like he's a player, yeah, but he wanted
Dan, let
in
me
the
tell you
team.
something, yeah?
So
We've had so many
Okay,
Chelsea
no, that
managers,
sounds
yeah?
not.
And I'm telling you this now, yeah?
Oh,
When the
sorry,
manager
Sanchez
says
was
he's
unknown
injured,
sickness.
yeah,
when the coach says
Sancho, his issue is he's got some kind of ear problem. It's the same thing he had at Dortmund. So he's just
Oh yeah,
literally
no,
like
'cause I knew I saw someone was down with sickness, but I couldn't remember if it was Anthony or
no,
Sancho.
Sancho.
I just
Whatever
checking
that
Sancho.
is, he's got some ear problem, which is literally just like he's just literally pissed because it just keeps on happening. So I don't know what they need to do to obviously deal with that problem, but it needs to happen pronto because if he wants a successful career, then that can't keep it happening. Because even he's like, what else does he always suffer from? Tonsillitis as well. It's another thing he keeps on suffering from. It's mad. So these things keep on happening,
Straight from
but
tonsils, boy.
whoa, this is it. So, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, listen, the team was at full strength, and we were playing these dumb balls, and we played into their hands. Like we literally played into like Aston Villa's hands. Like you had Lindelof here, who literally like was touch tight to Watkins all the time, but then Watkins literally dragged him out and then just played the ball. And it's just like, okay, like you're not learning from this. You keep
What
on
about
doing
Martinez?
Which I also didn't understand, right?
it. Well,
Because
you
Watkins, to me, the best way to defend against Watkins is to give him space. Because what he does in the final moment is always, to me, the wrong decision. So you
Yeah,
step
because
up in, yeah.
no, you know what it is. You know what it is, yeah. Obviously, Lindelof, yeah, can't deal with pace. Yeah, let's be serious. So Lindelof thought, yeah, clearly by watching the game, clearly Lindelof thought, yeah, the best thing to do, yeah, is literally just make sure man can't turn and run at him. But obviously that was a
Right.
mistake because literally he
Yeah.
got dragged out of space, and then you're expecting Martinez here to do a job here of two people, which no one's there to do a job of two people. Like your centre back
Dan,
partner is meant to be there.
Because
Dan,
because
Dan.
that third goal showed that was the perfect example of what you're talking about. He got the
when we
ball,
played
went
thingy
out
though,
wide, and then when he played it through the middle, Martinez was nowhere near Ramsey
Yeah,
because
because
there was another player in front.
yeah, because
So
he had
he
his
was
own
like,
man to deal with. Even the
yeah,
first
yeah,
goal, if you watch the first goal, Lindelof's near the halfway line. Yeah, with Watkins, because Watkins dragged him out, and then Watkins has played the ball. Martinez has had to leave one player to try and close down another situation. It's not feasible. Like you don't defend like that as centre backs. It's wild. It's so ridiculous. It's unreal. But it is what it is. Like obviously, they had a good run on Monday, so hopefully they learn a lesson. you know, I just
Dan,
it
I've got
is
a
what it
question,
is.
yeah? I've
Go
got a
on. What's the
question.
question? What's the question? Go on.
You conceded 3 to Aston Villa and 6 to Man City, right? And
Yeah.
Martinez has played in that defense. And I've not heard one criticism from Martinez this whole season whilst conceding a bag of goals.
Mate, mate,
Has he
mate,
been has he
mate,
been like that exceptional, or
mate.
has he made
Did you
mistakes
did
that
you
you're
what
covering for?
did you watch the game?
I'm asking the question.
No, but did you watch the game? I'm asking the question. Did you watch the game?
I didn't watch the game, no, but I'm
Okay,
asking simple
so okay,
questions.
mate. The first goal wasn't his fault. That was Lindelof. Yeah, the
Okay.
second goal wasn't his fault, and the third goal wasn't his fault. It's not like if the goal was his fault, then I could be like, okay, yeah, the goal was his fault. But you can't legislate, yeah, for man, yeah, being dragged out of position. Martinez is already marking the player, right? The right back's already marking the player. You got a player running into space, and then he has to leave that player to try and cover up Lindelof's mistake. Man, come on, you can't blame that. That's the silliness of the highest order. Like,
Dan,
I'll give,
I think
I'll give,
I think since
I'll,
Martinez has been in, I don't know how many goals you conceded, but let's just say you conceded, I don't know, maybe 10 because 6 against Man City and 3 against Aston Villa, plus an extra one somewhere else against Chelsea, for example. Yeah. Okay. Let's say you conceded 10. Yeah. You're telling me none of those goals had anything to do with Martinez? Is it because I've never heard you say this goal? Martinez done anything wrong? None of it. It's like okay. If
I can tell you what he did wrong. I can tell you what he did wrong. When he elbowed bloody what's it face in the chest, which they're being quite raw. I'm surprised it wasn't a red. Even though if that was 10, 20 years ago, it would never be a red. But I'm actually surprised it wasn't in this day and age. But no, you can't say those goals were his fault. That's just ridiculous. Obviously, it's a team game.
Fact, though. But interesting fact: Leon Bailey has scored 4 Premier League goals. Yeah, all 4 of them have been under different managers.
Yeah, I know. Crazy. But I don't know why it's that if it is a Champions League player, but it is what it is. But yeah, you know who had a really bad game?
Let me guess.
Rashford.
Interesting.
Rashford. He was shocking. Every time he plays on the right hand side, yeah, it's just like this man here doesn't know how to play football. It's actually ridiculous. It's so mad. It's like to me, he was on the right, and Garnacho was on the left.
When he scored the header, he was coming off the left, weren't he, in that game, and through the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
Like he literally just switches off, and it's like, yeah, I'm on the right hand side. Don't get twisted. He tries.
That's why it's confusing. Like, why is he that bad on the right hand side?
Because he can't cut in. He literally has to like get the ball out of his feet and cross the ball. Because like obviously,
I think when he plays off the left, you can see he cuts in and pushes it on the right. It's like when you watch Anthony on the right, you always see, like, if I was a defender, I wouldn't mind playing Anthony because it's a bit like Elise as well. They're very one-footed. You can see what they're about to do. Push it to the foot.
You know what's actually annoying? It's like Anthony's not one-footed, but he chooses here not to use that. No,
he just pretty much pushes everything to the left foot, though.
Yeah, it's just he does. It's just so ridiculous. It's unreal, but it is what it is. You know, we lost the game. Like obviously, we got them again in the cup tomorrow, so I expect a better showing. But we'll see.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're playing your one tomorrow.
Yeah, we got them tomorrow.
Yeah, they might do.
I'd like to see some of the youngsters put out there, like Charlie McNeil's still there, isn't it? He's not on loan. I'd like to see some of them given a go.
Dan, I've got another question.
What's the question?
I've got another question for Dan, right? All right. Do you think it was wise to goad us against Arsenal whilst your game has not even started, only for your team to get battered 3-1 against Aston Villa and what's the name? Unai Emery, good evening. Like, do you think it was a wise choice that you made? Or do you think if you go back on it, if there was a VAR decision, you'll change that?
No, not really. I would have done exactly the same thing. Like, you know, it's of no consequence, really. Like, we lost the game and move on. Unlike Chelsea fans who go into hiding or sulk or whatever the case may be, or, you know.
Are you ready to do your Chelsea team? Have you checked your lineup?
No, I'm just
asking. I'm saying, are you ready to go back to Chelsea? No, I'm asking. You're ready to go. You said
he doesn't want to talk.
My thing is,
I can go in there. I'm ready.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Let's go.
Okay, I would have gone, but we'll just go with Chelsea.
Okay, against Arsenal, they were the full team going into it. I thought that we were going to lose anyway, and I thought.
Whoa! Stop! I don't understand you. Why?
After 3 seconds, bro. After 3 seconds.
Yeah. Because I can't buy it. Like you're at home.
Okay. Let me rewrite what I said. Let me rewrite what I said. I said they're the form team. They're the form team. Are they not the form team? All right, cool. I also said we're coming off it like with on poor form, and I expected us to lose. Did I not say that beforehand?
To be fair, you did predict a loss.
Well, exactly then. Exactly. So in terms of this fixture, it's disappointing we lost to Arsenal. I think that it's a combination of multiple like different issues, but ultimately we've got a new coach that's been in there for what 10, 12 games, and we want to play possession football, and Arsenal are at their final stage of that. It's one of them ones that it's like I wouldn't be happy with a draw. We end up losing. Could we have won that game? Probably not. The big issue, which remains probably I've seen today and even the previous games as well, is the midfield, particularly keeping possession of the midfield, number one, and number two, having creating clear chances from the centre of midfield. And I think when you don't have that, Arsenal just going to pile on the pressure. I think that there was a big gap between the attackers and the midfielders as well, and that's why we kind of need that. Not I wouldn't say number 10, but we need that playmaker, that maybe even the number 6, someone just to hold the ball, pass from left to right, spray the ball there and there, and just keep possession in the midfield. When you don't have that, it's just everyone's all over the place.
I've got a question.
Okay, I was gonna ask a question. Go on.
I've got a question. No, you go first. Go first.
No, I was gonna say, do you think like your squad selection inconsistency plays a part in that? Because I think when they were when the game was on, I think they've said, I think it was just the league games that they were talking about. He's made 29 different changes to his starting lineup since he's been in. So do you think like the inconsistency of a regular starting 11 is playing against you in the sense of it's always changing, so no one really knows what they're doing in a sense, and the formation, the system that you play changes, seems to change each time there's a different lineup. Other than the ones that are injured, which is obviously you need to replace, it just seems like he changes the squad way too frequent.
Personally, I think when it comes to Graham Potter, two things. Number one, he doesn't play different systems. He plays different formations, which is it's a bit weird. What he's trying to do is control the midfield and have a lot of possession on the ball and create loads of opening, and just everybody's just interchanging, particularly in the attack as well, and have the wing back push forward, or wingers or not wingers but fullbacks push forward. Now, whether we play 4-5 at the back, it doesn't really make a difference because that same system still prevails. But the issue is, and the changing of teams, it's one of them ones that people are dropping down injured regularly, number one. Number two, we've had individuals get red cards in the game. And also as well, we've had individuals who it's experimentation as well. So I'm not, like, if he keeps changing his team whilst in the first 5 or 10, maybe even 15 games of the season, I can understand that because he's finding the right team. But once he finds that right team, I want him to stick with it and keep consistent. Because right now, there has not been a midfield partnership or midfield three or whatever it is that is fully cohesive and that's basically looking solid in the midfield. None. So he just throwing up different combinations and see what works. That's all it is, to be fair. And also, so we're playing so many games as well from Champions League, League Cup, Premier League, that our players drop down injured so much that he's trying to manage that as well. It's understandable.
I've got a question. Like, considering those 29 changes have been in all competitions. Yeah, your team changes. Yeah, all competitions. Your team changes quite a lot. Unlike Man United, who the manager clearly he has to play the same 11 pretty much all the time. Now, Jorginho is a prime example. Yeah, he's a deep line playmaker, right? What does he actually do? The Brazilian who's Italian, what does he do exactly? Because I'm very confused. Because this guy's meant to be
we can't go down that path because Abdulmalik that's happened to be from the UK. Like we can't just you know what I'm saying. But in terms of Jorginho, and I know his function, what he's supposed to do, but the issue is that I don't think he's athletic enough anymore, and that's
anymore. He's never been athletic. So this is the problem. I don't understand that. Like, he was brought in there, he's not athletic, yeah, and there's just no he can pass the ball, but there's just no direction. He just doesn't do anything. Like you got Loftus-Cheek, right?
Yeah.
What does he do other than he can dribble? He can dribble, but what does he do?
Loftus-Cheek. What he
Like,
does
this is-
here, it depends where he. Okay, in terms. Okay, let me just round up with Jorginho. Jorginho is supposed to be the guy who retains possession in the midfield, and he's supposed to spray it forward as much as he can. Okay, he's supposed to be that deep line number 6 that intercepts the play as well, from basically stop the play
Wait,
going from midfield
intercepts.
directly through. Yeah, he has.
Mate, he's never been capable of doing that. This is why I'm confused. Like,
It's not in the same way as a N'Golo Kante. It's not the same way as a N'Golo Kante where he runs after the ball and retrieves the ball.
Yeah.
No, he tried to intercept the ball from basically channels of passes that go into the defense.
Yeah, but
that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, but he's incapable of doing it though. This is why I don't understand that.
He did that. Look, with Jorginho, I'm not, because he's playing bad now. I'm not just going to erase my memory of what he's done in the past. Okay, he did do that to an extent in the past, and he did help us with the Champions League in the past as well. He was very good.
And he was next to him, by the way, just so accuracy, doing the hard work. I'm telling you, you're missing Kante right now. Put Kante back in that midfield, Jay. You see a different Chelsea because he does all the donkey work. You got Jorginho.
I agree. Jorginho is not a bomb in itself.
Jorginho is limited.
I agree. Jorginho is limited.
Other than being able to pass the ball with his right foot and left foot, what does he do? Like, no offense, he's a poor version of Michael Carrick. Like Michael Carrick was intercepting balls. Jorginho doesn't do that, and you don't need pace to do it because Michael Carrick didn't have pace. Jorginho just doesn't do the job. Is that simple?
Effectively, we both know what Jorginho's role is. Okay, I don't think we need to go into much detail. He clearly isn't up to scratch enough at this level anymore. Loftus-Cheek is the guy that, again, for him, it's weird because at wing back, he's supposed to be the guy who doesn't run and cross it in like a Reece James. He's supposed to go to like the 30-yard area and just recycle possession and the final third.
Why is he playing wing back though? This is what I don't understand. He's clearly
there. I think the reason why he's playing there is because Thomas Tuchel put him there as a result of our injuries in our defense, because we played 5 at the back and we had injuries to Reece James, and Azpilicueta plays better as a centre back or at the edge of the right 3, which means that when Loftus-Cheek came into that right wing back, he actually played fairly well, and we kept him in that position.
Right, I've got a question for you. Yeah? Right.
Go on.
At this moment in time, yeah, you got Chabalov who's fit, Thiago Silva who's fit, Aspi who's fit, yeah, Koulibaly who's fit, yeah. Surely, yeah, with all those players,
Koulibaly's just been fit today, he just recovered today. Like,
well, he was on the bench against Arsenal. Like, if you're fair enough on the bench here, then you're fair enough to at least play 45 minutes of football. But point is, yeah,
that's your opinion. But yeah,
I mean, he played today, no? So he must have been fair enough. Now the point is that you had all those players available. You got Loftus-Cheek at right wing back. He's no good. Like,
he wasn't playing at right wing back or against Arsenal. He played in the midfield with Jorginho against Arsenal.
Did you play a 4? Did you play a 4 at the back there?
Yeah.
Okay.
We played Aspi at the right back.
Okay, you got Lewis Hall, like, he played wing back.
He was a good performer today. I was impressed with him.
Like, he could have played. Like, I'm not being funny, yeah, but sometimes you just have to chuck a youngster in, or you could have played wing back. Like, I'm just looking at
that's Captain Hindsight, man. Because first and foremost, yeah, I like Lewis Hall and I like what I saw today, but he was up against I would say a Man City B team defense. We were coming up against Arsenal A team defense.
Did you say Man City B team defense? They just
played, not B team defense, but
they played Laporte and Diaz as centre backs. That's not B team.
But who did they play at right back and who did they play at left back?
They played youngsters, but they're centre backs.
That's what I'm saying. You can say they did, but they did have the strong backups on their bench.
Yeah,
should they have needed it.
Yeah, and the centre backs were first choice. Like, you know, if you had to say who's first choice in the defence, then you would say it would be Laporte and Diaz, and the other 2 are backups in theory. So it's not like.
No, but where was Lewis Hall playing today?
Was he not playing wing back?
Let's just finish rounding up the Chelsea Arsenal.
He's
We
playing
can
wing back,
digress
yeah,
on this game
and
afterwards.
and when he was up against Man City youngsters. Like, I'm not being funny. In the Europa League, not Europa League, EFL Cup, whereby both teams defensively were poor.
He was up against
Today.
Mahrez, no? Was he not up against Mahrez? Or am I
No.
missing something? He was playing on
Well,
the left, no? He was playing on the left, and Mahrez was playing on the right. So they would have had to come against each other.
I think he was
No.
playing left midfield. I think we played the left. I think we played the 4 at the back. I wasn't too sure the formation.
He was-
but
He was
but-
definitely
but
playing a
it's
4 at the
upset-
back. You look
Mate,
like
he
you were
was
playing
playing
4-3-3.
Mate, he
Yeah,
was playing. Yeah, Hall was playing on the left. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Mahrez was playing playing right midfield, so they would have clashed. So he was playing
Yes.
against a Premier League
theoretically,
attacker.
but I saw Mahrez along with Cucurella most of the time. But yeah, I know what you mean. But
Yeah.
in terms of let me wrap up the Arsenal game. Poor result, expected. We lost to effectively the league leaders at this moment of time. Whilst we have, I would argue, a lot of our squad injured. We've got it's a lot of problems at Chelsea. A lot of problems. We need the World Cup break to just recoup and do a lot of stuff. But look, onwards and upwards. I'm not really fully disappointed because in the circumstance we're in at the moment, we lost to the league leaders. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Today as well, we lost to the Premier League champions of last season and everybody's Premier League pick of this season. So it is what it is. And then we're coming up against Newcastle. Yeah, it's
So what you're gonna say? You scared you're gonna lose against Newcastle? You scared of Almiron, yeah?
No, look, for me, I think it's tough because we played well today in attack, but we didn't play well with defense. Whereas in other games, we played decent in defense.
1 second. See, I have an issue with that attack.
Not well,
part, yeah.
but
you lot get
but we played
forward
fairly
good,
well.
but the finishing is shocking.
I agree.
Like,
agree.
you
but
lot,
you know what I
because
mean.
Mate,
I'll excuse Hall because again, it's the first time I think he's probably been thrown in that kind of thing. So he's one I can kind of. No, I'm saying, but he's one I can kind of somewhat excuse to a degree. But the one Pulisic missed in the first half, like, you lot was creating chances, but you lot's finishing is shocking.
No, but I think you're looking at it from like a perspective of like watching other teams and see like how they attack. Bro, I don't think we've created that much chances in the game for the last for a while. So when I say we're playing fairly decent in attack, I'm talking about based on recent results in Chelsea. I'm not comparing it to flipping Man City's attack or flipping Arsenal. No, I'm not talking about that.
Wait, OTC.
All right, so we've wrapped that one up. Yeah. Okay, go on. Say what you're going to say, then I'm going to do Palace.
Just one thing. When you're talking about the attack here, like, your attack is better than Arsenal's. The difference is that Arsenal took their chance, whereas you didn't create enough. Yeah, and you have to remember, you're going up against Jesus. You're going up against Jesus, who misses like 10 chances a game. Like, you shouldn't be fair in that. Like, you should not be fair in that. It's mad.
Yeah, but Jesus didn't score.
We know he didn't score, but you still were scared, no? Like, you shouldn't be scared of that.
I wasn't scared of Jesus. Like, no, I was not scared of Jesus.
Your defense was though, for some reason. I don't know why.
Our defense was scared or was not scared. What are you talking?
They were scared. Clearly, like the way they were playing, they're scared of him. Like, it was mad. The guy doesn't play in the box. He plays outside the box all the time.
I don't know.
And then when he does get in the box, he misses open goals and all sorts. Like, he's poor.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but he didn't score. Like, I don't get. Like, he didn't score. He didn't assist. Like, we lost 1-0 to Arsenal. Like, he had no involvement in the goal. I don't understand what you mean. I'm talking about the Chelsea Arsenal game. If you're talking about Jesus, like, that's Jesus, isn't it? Like,
your team missed the beat. You should have went for the game, like, properly. Like, there was no confidence in your team. I just don't understand it personally.
Dad, we could only go for the game if we got the ball. And we could only get the ball if we actually keep control of the midfield. We didn't have the ball at all.
You lot did have a decent amount of possession though in that game. But let's swiftly move on.
Misleading, but yeah.
So
I was going to say,
our game.
West Ham game. Yeah. I fully expected West Ham to beat you because they were at home.
I know
I
you
did
did.
not think
I
you
know
had.
you did.
Yeah, I did not. And I will like fully hold my hands up and say, yeah, I was wrong on that. But
I
for you
predicted that
guys to
result.
Did I
to
get that
pull,
one right?
for you guys to
I did.
for
I
you
did.
guys
I got the result correct.
for you guys to pull that result out, that's a big result. Because West Ham
I
at
got that
home,
result.
West Ham give people like they give people trouble, fam, at
Yeah.
home as well.
You know, it is.
Do you know what I mean?
In the league, they've not really kind of clicked though. So, whereas obviously everyone looks at the Europa Conference League and sees obviously they got the perfect record in that, and obviously they, like Declan Rice said, they should be beating the teams that they're facing in that competition. Whereas I think I don't want to, because you can't say it's the Thursday Sunday scenario because obviously they had the same situation last season and still performed well because they still finished seventh. I think it was last season they finished. So they can't even use that as an excuse because I think even one of the guys after the game was like, "Oh, do you think it's the Thursday Sunday situation?" He was like, "No." But the thing I enjoyed about the game was obviously it caused what I thought was some controversy in our group chat because OTC and his karma message come at the same time when both United and Palace was losing. So I took it as he was talking about Palace from my end, and obviously I didn't read the message. I just saw karma, and I took it as he was saying Palace.
Moses' head went,
My head was gone
bro.
when I saw that message. I was like, "Nah, we're not doing this." I was like, "Wait till full time." But interestingly, we're the team that's capitalized the most from losing position. Like we've got the most points from losing position this season. So when I saw that we was 1-0 down, it wasn't a case of I thought, oh, this could be a long day in it. Like I did kind of have a lot more confidence. I had confidence that we would still get something from the game because it seems like when we go behind, we do naturally kind of push on. But when I've watched the game now, it was definitely a deserved result because I feel there was a lot of parts in that game that where we did actually control and dominate,
Mate,
and
mate, you
I would
you
say we
don't.
was the stronger team.
Yeah,
And then
you dominated.
even
Question:
go on,
Did Arsenal have a strong team out today? Because I don't want to judge this scoreline.
it was basically like their Europa League squad, so I would say it was a reasonable team. But so
Okay,
back
sorry,
to the
sorry.
Palace game. Oh, go on. So then Ben Rama's goal, beautiful goal, sloppy defending, well, sloppy playing out from us, which obviously then led to the build up, but can't fault the goal. Probably did hurt a little bit that it was him that scored the goal, considering we was linked with him for quite a while before he went West Ham. But then even when who was their defender? Was it Dawson? Dawson obviously put their right back in a weird predicament. Like the pass he played to him
It
was
was
just
poor.
terrible. Then Eze capitalized, put it through to Zaha. Zaha's just done what he's done when he's played down the middle. He's put it in the back. What's that? I think he's on six league goals now. So I feel when he plays down the middle, he plays a lot better because I don't think teams kind of know how to defend against him when he's in the middle. Whereas if we play him out on the wing, he is quite easy to defend against, especially
You,
when he's playing
you
out on the
can
left.
you can double and
And
triple on
then
them.
yeah, and it's easy, and you can see it frustrates him. But even like when I say when I'm watching the games, I'm just like just move him in the middle because the second he goes in the middle, it creates a problem because you either got to take your right back to come onto him, or you push one of your centre backs onto him, which then creates a bit more space. But then in the second half, there was chances from both teams. I'd say it was chance wise, it wasn't as clear to us. But then obviously, it was a heart in the mouth moment in the 80th minute when Antonio dived and the penalty was awarded. It was again one of those occasions where you are happy there is VAR, and then obviously the ref's gone across, checked it, and then obviously he's taken like removed the penalty because, like I say, it was shocking that it was even given in real time. Because when you see it, there's definitely not enough contact for the reaction that he gave.
No,
And then
it's a clear
so I
goal.
think it was like 88th minute, both teams were having chances and going into stoppage time. I was thinking just hold out for the draw because both teams were. surprisingly, for an end of a game, they was still going at it like both ends. It was kind of going back and forth. And I think I think from like the 93rd minute, I think both teams then had a chance. And then thankfully history repeated itself because Antonio took the ball down the other end. And rather than say run into a corner and just hold the ball up and play for the point, he played a ridiculous cross straight into the goalkeeper's hand and straight into a counter attack. And then obviously, go on.
Do you think it was an even game? Just like you'll see.
No, I think we deserve to win.
Okay.
But I think
Okay,
it was one of those ones where. Go on.
Yeah, because I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights, so obviously I didn't get the full perspective of the game. But I'm just looking at the stats. That you had 58 possession, you had more shots on target than them. That's 6-2. You had more shots to them, 15 to only 5. Like touches of the ball.
No, we was quite dominant.
Like even passes, you look up. Yeah, it's just clear. It's bad.
And surprisingly, even if you look on Twitter, there was a lot of West Ham fans that was kind of like in agreement that Palace was the better team, which knowing like the rivalry between both of the clubs, you wouldn't usually see that. But then, like I say, the weird thing was the Antonio situation when he brought the ball down the other end and it was a ridiculous cross. To this moment, I still don't get it. Obviously, we went down straight down the other end, and obviously, Elise scores the winner with the deflection. But like I said, I don't know if I did it on Twitter or if I put it in the group chat. It was basically a carbon copy of a few years ago when Antonio did the same thing. Instead of going into the corner, he's tried to put a cross in, it's gone straight to the keeper, and we've gone down the other end and scored. The only difference is the last time when it happened, that was for a point. This time it's cost you all 3 points. And like I say, it makes no sense. Like you was literally 20 seconds away from a point, and you've cost the team all 3 points.
I think he wanted that last minute winner, which is understandable.
No, he did, but you know it is. If, like I say, if you go back and watch the thing that I said, it's literally a carbon copy of a few years ago where he did the same thing. Last time they was winning, I think it was 3-2. I think the game ended up being 3-3, if my memory serves me correct. All he had to do was go in the corner. They would have won the game. But instead, he's tried to put a cross in, and the cross is literally a carbon copy of the one of the time before. So if I was a West Ham fan, I'd be fuming that you've cost us a point in the situation with the league being as close as it is down towards the back end. Like every point is vital right now.
I hear that. I think he's under pressure. I think he's under pressure because you know what?
He's not starting games neither. So there's definitely some pressure.
There's pressure because Kamaka's come in. I think Kamaka's on 6 or 7 goals. Yeah, and he's hardly got a goal, and he's under pressure. So it's one of those where
there's definitely a pressure there because he scored today. But I just think, like I say, I like him, so it's kind of annoying to see.
He's a good player for West Ham, but obviously for West Ham to go, for West Ham to go forward, they need a striker here who's going to get them.
No, I just
20
think they
goals
definitely
in all competitions, like easily, and so Skamaka can get that easily. He's that type of striker. I'm actually surprised. I'm actually surprised bigger teams are going for him, like because obviously I know PSG went for him and they would have paid the price that the club wanted. But
was it quite a hefty price tag for West Ham?
Mate, well, not as much as the club was asking PSG. PSG were quoting.
Wait, hold on. Ash,
you want to know what it is?
Are you just your grinder or something? What's going on?
He is doing that.
He is. Bro, we can hear it, bro. Mute your mic, fam.
You see, this is why. All right, now you see.
Your mic, fam,
you see. Hold on. I'm gonna bring a private conversation. I said to Moles, is this PG? Because one day you're gonna have someone watch. I don't care, man. I want the show to be authentic, innit? So I didn't turn the mic off, innit? Like,
it's what is, isn't it?
Edit that out.
But Skamaka, like what was PSG quoted? They were quoted like something stupid, like 60 million or something. Obviously, West Ham
Didn't
didn't
he
pay
do his
60
release clause?
million.
Let me check.
I don't think he had a release clause. I know PSG were quoted 60 million. Something stupid. It's just like ridiculous. It's just like, okay, like why PSG being quoted this, but West Ham are getting them on the cheap. Like not on the cheap,
Oh,
but
they
getting them
paid
cheaper.
around 35 and a half.
There you
Wait,
go. There you
what
go.
team was he? What team was he at before?
Huh?
What's the team called again? What's the
Who they
Italian
come
club
from?
called? Yeah, what's the club called again?
Sassuolo.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Wait, is
They're
that in
quite
France?
no, Italy.
No, Italy.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a 5-year deal as well. Yeah, no, so like I say, overall though, I'd say on this occasion, like I say, and it was there was West Ham fans that was in agreement that the better team won. But it was one of those ones where I think as a West Ham fan, given how he was 20 seconds away from a point, you'd probably be a lot more furious than anything else. Because like I say, right now, with the way the table's looking, every point is kind of to a degree vital.
It is. But to be fair, like West Ham always start rubbish, and then all of a sudden they end up like top half of the table. You think to yourself, how the hell did they get there? So
yeah, they go
I expect them to just move up the table because look, Leicester were bottom at one stage, and look at them now. Like they seem to be like yes, it's Madison. He's just doing bits, ain't he?
Yeah, and it's shocking that he's not even going to be in the England team. Right, so when
Oh.
Oz comes back, we'll jump into the Liverpool game. Nah, I think he deserves. I think he definitely deserves.
I'm not saying he's not deserve it, but
But then
we'll talk about England after Liverpool. I think personally we'll go. I think he'll go.
Me, I don't think he will go, and I'll tell you why. Because Southgate doesn't play at 10, so he ain't gonna go, is he?
So when Oz is back, we can digress what we think on the game.
I'm telling you, like, you know, if England don't play for 10 years, then he's obsolete, unfortunately, because you're not gonna play him out wide because he doesn't have that pace. So at that point, it's kind of like, okay, why is he here, kind of thing? Because he's not gonna play centre mid. He needs to play attacking midfield, and England do not play with attacking midfielders.
I think that his role in the we'll talk about Liverpool now. Then we'll come off to this after.
Wait,
second, you're not shed loading, are you? Like I can see the electrics on now, but you keep going dark. You're not shed loading, are you?
Brother, I'll just come to the toilet. Anyway, before we circle back to Liverpool, yeah.
Go on. Yeah, we're gonna do Liverpool now.
Ash come through. Let's just hear Ash just take on my new stuff because he didn't get the chance to.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oz, this is Thanks for wait, Ash. What are you saying, fam? Put down the split, fam. We need an explanation. What's going on?
Bro, you don't see me rolling my team up, fam. I don't understand what's everyone's. I didn't, bro. Whoa. I don't get it.
Well, go on, bro. Just what happened? I know you'd make me talk if Liverpool lost. So.
What is everyone asking for me? You want me to digress a game I didn't want to watch because I saw the scoreline and realized that it's just mad, or are we talking Liverpool Tottenham? I'm confused here.
I think they just want a little bit from you on
opinion. On the game.
They just want a little bit from you on the Man United game.
I can't lie. I haven't actually got around to watching because I'm pretty sure the timeline told me what happened, innit? Like, I'm pretty sure from what I read, only 1 or 2 players showed up and had a decent performance. That'd be Casemiro and Garnacho. Could be wrong, but
wait, hold on, Ash. So not Martinez. Because
I didn't read anywhere that he had a good performance, so I'm not gonna sit there and give it. I'm not gonna give him a good game if he didn't have one, innit? If it's not, again, I'll probably have to go and sit and watch some extended highlights and not work off of everyone else's opinion. But if the streets are saying he ain't had a good game, then I can't argue the streets. The streets is facts. I don't know. I've been meaning to catch up with Dan about it because I know Dan might have watched it, innit? But from what I read, only Casemiro, Garnacho turned up.
I definitely watched it.
Am I surprised? No, because Aston Villa, new manager bounce, and they've actually got a decent manager who's actually beat Man United a few times. So
Good
you know, we were due a whooping again. Like we're not a complete rebuild. The rebuild ain't done, innit? Like we can talk we can talk all the positives in it, but we know that there's still a long way to go. We ain't got a full squad in it. Like what we do have, the players that are doing well are doing all right. They ain't doing anything major. Like I still expect these games to be tough, innit? Like as good as we are and the manager that we have, like I still expect it to take time for it to work. So when I see 3-1 Aston Villa, and they've got a decent team, bro. It's Coutinho, Doug, what's his name? The Jamaican bruh, Leon Bailey. Like they've got good players. I swear Matt Target plays for them, or Matty Cash, one of them players.
Matty Cash.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? Like serious, they got decent ballers. So you know, is what it is. You just take it on the chin. Been talking smack recently. It's due to come back to me, innit? It's due to come back to me. It is what it is, man.
Yeah,
I think it goes to show the mentality as well, because look at the other spaces that other teams are in, and it still don't like get us. There's no motivation to get up and kill these games off quick when you Tottenham, Chelsea, they're not doing well, bro. So it's not a thing to sit there and relax and think you can go into games and like steady play. Nah, bro, you got to take advantage of these situations. Like, bro, I don't know how long again you're gonna see Liverpool doing like this bad. Like, bro, you got to take advantage of these things, bro. It's not. I'm not even but bro, you lot are doing bad compared to where you lot have been. Like, you're doing bad this season. So like the chance to get above one of our top rivals. Like, it should be like there should be more. There should be more in it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, bro, I hear you. I'll tell you now for a fact. Every Man United fan I know, like even them ones who like support Man United half-heartedly, every time anything's gone wrong for us this season, they're like, bro, I just need to take advantage of this moment because you might bounce back and have 2-3 good years where we can't do this to you, which is fair. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same as, well, the internet's the internet. Do you know what I mean? When you man were down, that's what people do. Do you know what I mean? Like the Villa one, people gave you a pass just because obviously they've just got a new manager. It's the new manager bounce, and you're not gonna have that again.
I don't buy the new manager belts, to be fair. Like I just think
no,
that
bro, no, Dan, you've got to admit when teams get a new manager, they seem to play well, fam. Nah,
yeah,
you've
but
got to admit that.
I don't buy it. Like
I'm inclined to agree with Dan a little bit, only because
didn't perform.
when Wreck-It Ralph came in, bruv, we pressed against Palace for 20 minutes, fam, and it stopped.
Wow, did that guy get pressed?
You get what I'm saying, bro? Like, fam, that was, I can't lie, bro. Like, I was excited for 20 minutes, and 20 minutes, I swear to God, everything was normal again, bro.
Yeah.
The facts are, yeah, we didn't do what we were supposed to do there. Like I said, yeah, players are Lindelof, yeah, coming out of position, leaving gaping holes like for no reason. You can't. No one can account for that nonsense. Ultimately,
Wait, so Dad, you lost 3-1 because of Lindelof. Is this what you're telling me?
No, that's a prime example. He was involved in all 3 goals, mate.
All right. Anyways, yeah, we've had Asher. Let's get to Liverpool. We can't just make this about Man United too much, man.
Yeah, I hear that. Okay.
Oz is happy. He's got to hear that twice now.
Nah. I predicted a draw, didn't I? I predicted a draw between us and Spurs.
I think I predicted a stalemate still.
Yeah.
I predicted in one of them games still.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a 2-2, to be fair, but
yeah,
I got a little bit of confidence when I seen Son weren't playing, because that guy always causes problems.
Yeah, he fractured his cheek, didn't he? He should be back for the World Cup though. He's had his surgery, so
he always causes problems. I thought, Obviously, we won. We got the 3 points. Still not a vintage performance because in the second half, we were literally just defending for our lives. I mean, Salah did well. He played well. I was happy with his performance. Again, our defense
He's
still
performed
looked
well
shaky.
against all the big teams so far this season.
But then this is the thing.
Other
You know,
than
whenever,
United,
Except one.
except one.
yeah,
What?
yeah.
Okay, well,
When we've had bad seasons,
I don't think it counts, but yeah.
we've always
Although he did
played
score
good
in that
there,
game,
man.
though.
Yeah, we've always played well against the teams that people would expect us to struggle against when we've been having bad seasons. Because if you remember that season where Van Dijk ended up getting injured, we got beat by Aston Villa embarrassingly when Van Dijk.
Oh,
Yes,
is that when
7-1.
you lot started wearing the RIP
Yeah.
Van Dijk t-shirts? I remember.
Brother.
But you know what I'm
you're
saying?
an arsehole.
We always end up losing against the teams that we shouldn't lose against. And it's almost like we turn up to teams thinking we've already won. And that's the
I
mentality
don't
that
think no teams fear Liverpool anymore as well. They don't have that fear factor. Especially this season. I'm not going to say for all seasons, but especially this season, it doesn't look like any team fears playing against them. But I think you can also see when you look at Liverpool,
No. There's only one
very
team that
tight.
did fear. There was one team this season that's feared playing us, and that's Man City. Because the way Pep set up his whole team there, he got all that fucked up. You know he did.
Yeah, their system in that game was shocking.
Yeah,
But you look like a very
The thing is, though,
tired team.
against Liverpool, yeah, they've got like, even though Joe Gomez is not on form, like they're very tall and strong defenders. Like they're very strongly built. You get it, like so. Pep is naturally, because they're the kind of build you want up against the Haaland. Naturally, you get me. Like those kind of man there. So yeah, naturally Pep will fear teams like Liverpool. Sorry to go into it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Which is understandable at the same time mental, because if they'd have just played how they've been playing this season, they'd have walked away with the 3 points the way we've been playing this season. You know what I'm saying?
I'd agree. I'd say, you know, I think though with your team though, because it does look very tired. Do you think Klopp's unwillingness to rotate players more frequent is kind of like coming back to cost you like a lot more this season?
I would.
His
I would disagree.
unwillingness to do that, and number two, also us not investing in midfield. Everybody and their mother said
that your midfield is tired.
Yeah, it's tired and it's old, bruv, as well.
Yeah, it is old.
It's knackered. It needs a winter break and it's going to the World Cup, bro. It's crazy.
You know, your team's biggest problem is probably, I would say, there's depth in your squad, but it's just not. You take out the players it's like Man United. You take out certain players out of the first team, yeah, it's just simply not good enough. Point blank.
Yeah.
Point blank.
1 second, OTC was getting ready to say something when you heard it's a bit like Man United. I saw you saying that.
It's a bit like Man United. I'm just saying they're thinking.
It's the truth because watch this.
Well, they ain't like Chelsea because Chelsea's just bad right now.
You take out Casemiro out of the team, yeah. You put McTominay in, yeah. You take out Fabinho, yeah. You put in James Milner, right? It's different quality. Like I'm not saying James Milner and McTominay are the same because clearly not. Like James Milner is a better baller, but in essence, they're not the same players like as Casemiro and Fabinho. You can see the difference. By far, you know what I'm saying?
I think this is kind of caught up with Henderson and James Milner. Though I think you can see like the speed of the game. They look like
but these are guys that know. But bro, you have to remember though, bro. Jordan Henderson, yeah, he was playing Premier League football with Sunderland, bro. Do you know how long ago that was?
That was a while ago, and it wasn't like. And to be fair as well, Fabinho hasn't been great in midfield either this season.
And I swear he was at somewhere else before he went Sunderland as well. Like he's been one of Jordan Henderson, yeah. As much as he gets disrespect as Liverpool's captain, and that, yeah, he has been a player that's been on teams' radar for years.
No, he started at Sunderland.
He started to Liverpool from Sunderland.
No, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying. He
yeah.
moved from Liverpool to Sunderland, but I swear I could have sworn he went
No, it
to
wasn't.
Sunderland from somewhere. I thought so, but I could be wrong in it.
No,
But
he
he's
played for
been one
Liverpool.
of those players that's been watched in it. So like,
Yeah, he's definitely been watched. Like obviously, like Ferguson would have been doing it, and he did go through for like his running style or some kind of madness. Like, but that's a whole different story. But
something has to be said about Spurs, though. Spurs were in a fantastic position at the start of the season, and they've just
yeah, but Spurs do
Negative
Spurs
football.
things. Spurs do Spurs things. Spurs
but
did.
it's just
You
pure
have to, no, but you have to no, but it's Spurs been Spurs. Spurs were in a good position last season. They were top of the table, and look where they ended up. Like,
Dan, but you can't say Spurs do Spurs things every season. Come
I
on, man.
think
People
Conte
have to
is
learn.
way too negative at the moment.
mate, literally, Spurs.
People
Mate,
have to learn.
no,
Like, come on,
okay,
man.
watch this, yeah. Right, we know Conte plays negative football, yeah. Just like we know Mourinho plays negative football, yeah. They bring in these coaches, yeah, who they play negative football, and then we're expecting something different. What are we expecting them to play? Sexy,
No.
attacking football.
You know, I
Dad,
get what you're
Dad,
saying.
Dad,
But
hold
the
on,
issue
hold
I
on.
have with it is
When you hold on. When you mentioned
Go on.
Jose, yeah, just be very careful. You mentioned there's certain names that you can't just drag through the mud, yeah.
Mate,
But, yeah.
mate, I'm not dragging it through the mud. Jose Mourinho in 2022, yeah, plays dead football. Fact. Yeah, that's not a lie. This is not the Jose Mourinho who was at Porto, or the Mourinho who was at Benfica, or the Mourinho who was at Chelsea when he first came.
yeah, word. OTC,
Like-
I know you're one of those guys that said,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you know, I'm sad it didn't
Oh,
work out with Chelsea, but he just struggled to move on with the game.
Like, there's a
Listen,
difference.
all I'm saying is, yeah.
Mourinho right now plays dead football, mate.
All right, we'll go back
here's
to
the
Liverpool.
issue
'Cause-
with Tottenham, though, yeah, with the thing, like it's
Tottenham's
annoying.
problem
because-
is Daniel Levy, bro.
No, because
That's
you can't
the
even do
issue.
it. Because
No,
he's
no,
in the
no,
squad.
no,
Like, he's
no,
got money.
no.
He's coughed up
No.
money. The managers have been
No,
able to bring players in.
Mate.
No,
No.
it's a
Tottenham's
mentality.
No.
It's a mentality.
Mate,
It's a
look at
mentality,
Tottenham's-
yeah.
look at Tottenham's
Everything
squad.
comes down to
1 second.
mentality.
Mate,
Yeah,
look
but
at
he
Tottenham's
brought in
squad.
Antonio Conte.
Bro,
Let me
Like,
tell you something.
he's-
yeah.
he's just-
Let me tell you
he's-
something. Yeah.
to me, Daniel Levy don't make like championship winning decisions, bro. As a club owner, bro.
See,
Wait,
this is
just
what I'm
just
talking about.
wait, just
This
out
is what
of
I'm
curiosity,
talking about. Yeah. Let me tell you something here. There's levels to this. I think Daniel Levy over the last maybe I would say 2 years since getting Jose, yeah, has decided to wake up and have an epiphany and say, oh, we need to fix up, we need to pattern up, we need to get some world-class coaches. But to let me tell you something, to rebuild a culture for 20 years of absolute dross and a lack of ambition and a team and a club
One second, to be
as
fair,
a club
yeah,
as
you
a
look
whole
at
that
Daniel
don't want to
Levy,
win
yeah.
trophies.
But you know, he's technically not the owner of Tottenham. He's just the chairman, right?
Chairman. He's just a chairman, so
He's not
Nah,
actually
he's a
like.
part owner. He's a part owner. He's at Todd
Yeah,
Bowley.
but
He's
he's-
a part owner.
Well, technically speaking, it's
He's-
owned by a group.
Well,
His
I
family
think
does
him-
benefit from it.
I think he
Because
is
they're
like,
technically a public
as a
club,
factor, as a
which has shares
chairman.
in it.
I think he just back seat now. You get me?
you know what? Daniel Levy does have his problems, but to be fair, yeah, you look at Tottenham's squad, yeah, it's not exactly like pants. Like the manager,
not-
No,
It's not as
look,
he's
bad.
been there for 20 years.
But,
He's
you
been
know,
there for
like,
20
I
years.
feel
Mate,
like
okay,
Tottenham,
let's go.
yeah,
Right,
Joe Lewis.
mate, let's go.
I feel like Tottenham's actually like, although football is a career and a job essentially, I feel like Tottenham is actually like a workplace, bro.
Okay, I'll put you like this, yeah.
You get paid to show up. That's it. You don't get paid to win. They don't care. You get paid to show up.
Look at Tottenham's squad. Yeah, this like you start with the goalkeeper. Yeah, generally speaking, yeah, he's a top class goalkeeper. Yeah, some people might say he's top level. Some people might say he's world class. Yeah, whatever floats your boat. Yeah, okay. Emerson Rowe, yeah, we know he's dead. We know that. Yeah. You got Eric Dyer, yeah, who's an England international, yeah. Sessegnon, yeah, who should be an England international, but probably won't. You got Ben Davies, yeah, who's a Wales international. You got Lanier, yeah, who's a French
What
international.
have they won? What have they won?
One second. In the last 5 years, yeah, Tottenham have spent 368 million.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
So it's
In the
it's
last
not
5
short
years.
in the last 5 years. So it's
So
not
it's-
no short of from the owners. This is purely down as well.
No.
Now, like I say, you can't blame the owners because the owners are putting the money in. It comes down to a thing of, like I say, Conte's not a bad manager, and you can see the job that he did well last season. But it seemed like as this season started, a lot of his first half performances from Tottenham, yes, players like Son haven't shown up, so it doesn't help.
Okay,
But
That's ridiculous.
they're not
That's
doing
ridiculous.
I hear
things
you.
collectively.
That's
Right.
ridiculous.
Harry
No.
Right,
Kane's
you
the
have to-
One thing I will say,
Harry Kane's the
all right,
second leading scorer.
question.
in the league, like the second top goal
It's
scorer.
not even about the money spent, bro. Let's be real, yeah. Because I was saying to my brethren the other day, this top 6 thing, yeah. I feel like they say it was created. You know, like when teams like, like Man City started getting involved and all Tottenham and that. Bro, that's been before. Do you get it? Like, bro, the only thing that stopped Tottenham actually being a serious contender when it was about the top 4, because you have to remember Tottenham and Everton and Aston Villa every occasionally used to battle for the top 4 for Europe, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Tottenham over the years, like, it's only the last 2 managers I would personally say, maybe 1 or 2. I can't remember all their managers. I'll be real in it. But let's look at the list of managers and say, like,
Wait, so
Daniel
you-
Levy's appointed, bro, with the ambitions that they've tried to match. They don't match, bro.
Yeah,
You
but
can't
wouldn't-
tell me you was looking
Your
at Champions
argument
League
was Daniel
football or
Levy,
aiming for
yeah?
Champions League football with Nuno Espirito, bro. It's just not
Yeah, no,
gonna
one second. You
Donny
said about
sounds like a
one second.
GTA
You
Vice
said
City
about
character.
Daniel
Come
Levy.
on, man.
No,
This
one
is what I'm
second.
talking
You said
about.
about Daniel Levy.
Listen to
Daniel
Ash,
Levy
bro.
put the
Listen-
money in, yeah. So he's provided money for
No,
the
I'm not saying it's about putting the money in. I'm saying it's about the appointments and decisions
No, okay,
that they
cool,
make
cool.
as a
So wait,
club, bro.
So then you've had Mauricio Pochettino, yeah, who got them to a Champions League final. His following season wasn't so great, ended up getting sacked. One second, you bought in Jose.
All right, so hold on.
The only manager in the last few that hasn't probably been to that standard is what's his name? The Portuguese don.
What about Ryan Mason?
Nah, bro, I feel like there's
Ryan
a
Mason
lot
was
of
brought in
managers
as a
that ain't reached
caretaker.
that standard,
He
bro.
wasn't brought in as
Okay.
a permanent manager.
to be fair, with Nuno,
Jose made no sense. But you can't sit there and say they've not brought in world-class managers.
Bulls. Mauricio Pochettino, and this is what I should say, yeah. Mauricio Pochettino and all of the managers beforehand, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
What have they won before they got into Tottenham?
Harry Redknapp
Why-
won FA Cup.
Well,
Why-
I'm
why
talking
you-
about.
wait,
I'm
what-
talking-
what are you
okay,
doing back?
I'm
Wait,
talking
wait,
about
what is-
Mauricio
what is the
Pochettino.
actual point?
OTC.
All right,
Stop right there.
cool.
I've got a question.
Hold
I've got a
on.
question.
Okay,
What
one
year-
second.
What
Just
is
so
what
we
year?
know, yeah. What is the actual point you lot are making in this argument?
I'm making the
But-
saying, I think, just like, bro, it's the same thing I feel about Manchester United, bro. I feel like even with all the money and things they've put in over the years, bro, when you've made the decisions, don't match the ambition of what you was trying to do, bro. Look how long we've been leading a central midfielder.
Okay, so one second.
Hold on. I'm doing this to make my point, bro. All I'm saying is, look how long we needed to make certain decisions, and then after the fact, when like young talents are emerging, and we have this thing about youth academy and believing in the young players. If you're good enough, you're old enough, etc., etc. All I'm saying is, likened to Man United and Tottenham, bro, their decision makings amongst their board doesn't match their ambition, bro. And I'm saying if they're screaming that they need to get rid of the fucking what's the people that own us, Glazers. They're saying they need to get rid of the Glazers. Why ain't no one be screaming out to get rid of them, brother? It don't make
Because
sense.
Daniel Levy's not the owner.
No,
You
but
can't
what I'm
Joe
saying
Lewis
to you, bro.
owns-
But bro, these people, yeah, I'm saying though, him
He's
as a
part of the-
chairman, obviously,
he's
how
part
long
of the
has he been
problem.
chairman,
One
bro? I've
second,
known him
one
to be
second.
chairman 10
No, so one
plus
second.
years, bro, and
So
he still
you
hasn't
get rid of-
delivered anything other
one
than what a
second.
possible
You get rid
Carling
of
Cup.
20.
You
But
get rid
Ash
of
is
Daniel
20.
Levy, yeah? No, one second. So you get rid of Daniel Levy. What do you bring in? Like who? One second. Daniel Levy's just a chairman, so you can get rid of the chairman, but he doesn't own the club. So that's why I'm not seeing where the argument is. Whereas the Glazers own Man United. Josh Conke
I'm
owns
saying, bro,
Arsenal.
you're not.
But they bought in
bro,
managers.
I'm saying across the board there needs changes, bro.
Okay, so when they bought in,
Just like they were
Mauricio
saying where we needed to
Pochettino-
get rid of Ed Woodward, bro.
one second. So they bought in
And all
Mauricio
these
Pochettino,
bankers
yeah?
and all these
He
negotiators,
One second.
Ash.
1 second. So
This is
Pochettino
what
built
I'm
a squad
talking about.
that was challenging consistently for top 4. Yeah, so Pochettino got a team who was challenging for top 4.
And
That
then
was
when
what
it was
he
time
brought
to
in for.
rebuild the squad, bro, they
No,
added
wait,
Lo
1
Celso on
second.
loan, and
1
that was
second.
it.
No,
And
bear with
then
me.
gave
So,
my man the sack that
no,
season.
bear with me 1 second. So he got them to constantly challenging for top 4, which would have been their target because it wouldn't have been to win the league. It would have just been to basically mount a top 4 challenge at that point.
Yeah, but what about the
They've been
cups?
to that.
What
No,
about
1 second.
all of them
1 second.
cups?
1 second.
Hold on, let
So,
him go,
1
let him,
second.
bro.
So he's got them into the top 4. So the next step would be then to possibly challenge for titles. You could
Okay.
argue there was one
Okay.
season that he probably was. So
Okay.
then he's
Hold on.
consistently doing well in. He's not winning cups, which you would like to see your manager do. But let's be honest, not every team's going to win a cup. You could have a fantastic team, but cup football. And in this
Alright.
country,
Cool.
it's not necessarily.
Cool.
It can just it's one game and done in it in like FA Cup and
Cool.
stuff.
The
Bro,
only
that's an
two,
excuse.
the only two players from that Pochettino team right now that seem to be actually that seem to actually still have any seam of contribution, and one of them, albeit someone ain't really fucking with a group chat because of it. Son ain't like Kane and Son, bro. Like they're the
But then
only
1
two
second.
key players from the
If you're
Pochettino
banking
team
your
that's actually
hopes,
still
yeah,
making
but 1
somewhat
second,
of a.
if you're
Hold
banking,
on, no, I let you land, man.
go on.
I let you land, man. I let you land, man.
Go.
Kane and Son are the only ones that are actually putting something in, bro. My man built a squad up, yeah. The squad had it run its course for 3, 4, maybe 5 years, bro. My man said to him, let's rebuild. The squad needs refreshing. We ain't gonna do nothing with these players. They gave him Lo Celso on loan and sacked him the season, got Jose Mourinho in, let him do his thing with the team, and then sacked him before a cup final or the week. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's not what you're saying. Does it, like, bros? Things
Okay.
need to change there.
1 second, so I hear that, but cool. You could put Guardiola in charge of them, and if they're not doing well, what you gonna do? Just sack him? Because bearing in mind, the only time
Guardiola ain't going there
One second,
if you're not going to.
one second.
If you're
You
not
know
going to
Guardiola's
take
only
his.
trophyless season has come at Man City. So would they have been right to sack him, say, after his first season? No, because he needed to rebuild. The issue you have is Man City threw money at it. You can't just keep throwing money to paper over cracks. Like, so yeah, they've got Kane and Son, but you can't just keep throwing money at a situation. I'm gonna throw this at Man United now, because look, Man United have done that for years. Throw money at a situation is not getting them no close to the title in a sense. Exactly. So if Daniel Levy, we're gonna go here, just keeps throwing money and bringing players in, it's not necessarily going to bring you closer to your target. Like, you can't just sit there and say throw money at it, because you can throw money at all you want. We can use Arsenal as a perfect example now as well. They've thrown money at certain things, but you can argue what Arteta's done there. He's built now a culture at the club where the club's now benefiting from whatever vision he had. Like, because let's be honest, we wouldn't see it as that. But to keep saying with Tottenham just to keep throwing things in the manager and stuff, they've brought in world-class managers. You can't just keep bringing players in.
Bro, hear the key thing you said, yeah? You bring in world-class managers, you match a world-class manager's ambitions, bro. Tottenham don't actually do that. It's just fact.
They've given him what he wanted.
Whoa. Yeah, but at the same time, sorry to cut. But at the same time, yeah, Antonio Conte plays defensive football for 45 minutes, yeah, of the first half, yeah. And then you expect that he does it every game. And then when the team's losing, he takes the handbrake off, and then all of a sudden, you look a better team. Like, he has to take responsibility for that.
No, I'm not having this.
Bro,
I'm not having this.
I'm
not having this.
Wait, throw away to go back there.
Mate, he puts the handbrake on.
He didn't have to go to Conte.
No, I get that, but he is the manager, right? So at some point, yeah, as much as Spurs are Spurs, he has to take responsibility, because point blank, yeah, the man plays defensive football, and then all of a sudden, when they're attacking, they look a better team, yeah. And in that second half, yeah, they had
even in the second half against Liverpool, they looked a lot better.
Of course they did, because the handbrake was off. All of a sudden, they wanted to play football. That's a fact.
No. Dan,
that's a fact.
This is the most amount of ridiculousness that I've heard from you in a while. Fam,
it's not ridiculous.
Are you hearing yourself? Okay, let me just explain to you something. What, before he got into Tottenham, What did he do before he got to Tottenham? Did he not win
Mate.
trophies before he got to Tottenham? He
Mate.
came to Chelsea, yeah. Let me tell you something. He came to Chelsea, yeah, and won the Premier League, yeah. Premier League, the big Premier League, yeah, ahead of Man City, etc. Yeah. Let's not go into the specific teams, yeah. And
First try.
he done that with defensive football. Yeah. He went to Italy and what was it? The treble
One
the
second,
season
one second,
before
one
he went
second.
to Tottenham.
Let's not bring Italian football into that because that's a totally different.
The only thing I'll say about the Italian
Side
football
there.
that he did was decent. The only reason why I'll say it is decent is because Inter Milan hadn't won the thingy. But I'm not gonna go and say his managing style is made for Italian football.
No, I'm just saying Italian
It doesn't-
football is a different concept to English like football. So I
Yeah,
would
no,
give,
that's what I'm saying. His football
And
matches the
bearing in
Italian
mind,
league. So
He's won the
did-
Premier League here. You're saying it like he's won the Premier League and the FA Cup in this country with defensive
Yeah.
football. Yeah. He
Yeah.
brings a mentality, and to be fair, at that period of time in Chelsea, we kind of already had that within the
Mate,
club anyway.
are you
But when you
look
go into
at
Tottenham, yeah,
look at Tottenham's team? Like, look at Tottenham's team. You're telling
Nah.
them to play defensive football, yeah, and the team is clearly not built for that.
have you seen
like,
our team in 20? Have you seen our team in 2017? We had Victor Moses on the right wing back. Bruv, come on, man. I'm not hearing it, man. He
Mate.
won the league with Ashley Young. Are you telling me that he's not going to at least mount a serious?
one
top
second,
one
one
task?
second.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
talk about Ashley
with-
Young's a dead player.
No, but you know what I
Ashley
mean,
Young
man.
can
Come on,
play.
man. No, you don't know what
I
I mean.
don't know what
Why
you
are you
mean.
making
no,
this?
we don't.
Yeah,
No, we
don't-
don't.
Wait,
don't
wait,
do Youngie
bullshit.
like
No,
that.
we don't. No, we
All
don't.
right, but you know what I mean. You know what
No,
I mean.
we don't.
Yeah?
We don't. We don't. We don't. Because
Okay,
that shows
okay,
He's
yourself.
won the
So
league.
what you-
He's
what
won
you-
the league
what
with
you
Throw
show
Liverpool.
there.
whatever
Okay.
you want at
That's a
Tottenham.
two-time Premier League winner, I swear.
You can throw whatever you want at Tottenham, but to sit there and then criticize the thing, it then gets to the point of when is enough in it? Because you say, oh, we need to spend money. They spend money.
I
Oh,
don't
let's change
think
because Tottenham
it's a
fans are even call,
thingy.
one second, because Tottenham fans are even calling for Conte's head after certain performances. They've had enough of the negative football. I'm saying you could bring a manager in that's playing full on attacking football. People will still find a problem with what's going on.
Let me tell you
Because
something.
look, even Pochettino, he went to
Tottenham are-
PSG, and then they lose the title under him.
Yeah, they did.
Exactly. And that's the same guy that was at Tottenham for how long? For about 5-6 years, he was at Tottenham, and he worked.
You lot would say that, and some people would say that's Tottenham's best period. So
Well, it was.
Tottenham.
And they won. And what did they win? Ash, what did they win?
Yeah, but you're
They
missing something. You're missing something though. You're comparing Tottenham here to other teams here. Tottenham, yeah, they're competing for top four, but they're not nowhere near the biggest team like in the league, are they? Like they
Let me
need
tell
to
you
get.
something.
They need to.
Since Daniel
know.
Levy's been in there, Leicester have won the league. Leicester have won the FA Cup. Wigan have won the FA Cup. Bruv, if we start going down the list, yeah, there's a bag of teams that have at least.
Palace have
Got
reached
into-
more finals than them.
Come on, man. Let's not.
We've only reached
Let's
one.
not. Come on, man. Like.
Don't try to debunk my point just to make your argument strong.
Well, no, we've reached one final, and it was an FA Cup final. Tottenham reached the Champions League final.
And a League Cup final.
Don't say a League Cup final. There was, like I say, you can look at these
And
things.
lost, but that's not my point.
I'm saying you
Either
could,
way,
you
all
could put
I'm
Mourinho
saying
in
is,
charge.
innit?
Mourinho still could have lost that final. There's no saying he definitely would have won it. But if he had won it,
I would
I would have said he
fair.
would have won it. But
Mourinho won a trophy with Roma the year later. Fam, let me tell you something. Jose, if they kept Jose at the club for an extra season or even for the rest of that season, I guarantee he
I
still would have
don't
won that cup.
necessarily.
Nah, I don't think. No. This.
No, if I'm being honest, I don't think Jose's
that.
football suits Premier League anymore. So I
It
don't.
doesn't.
Again,
I think
It doesn't.
Italian football
Of-
is where Jose should be right now because I don't even
Obviously.
think he'd do all right in La Liga.
like I said, I still think with Tottenham, if you ask a
I
serious
don't.
Tottenham
Like I said,
fan,
I'm not saying they need to spend millions and millions of pounds because, like I said, bro, for me, that's what Man United have done, and it's not been the answer. Evidently, bro, we've smashed a record, a transfer. We've spent like 3 figures twice. Well, 9 technically, innit? But do you know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, I think like Man United, there just needs to be a cultural change, but it needs to be one right for that environment, innit? I don't think it's bro. Like I can actually sit here and say I've gone through pain for the last 10 years, bro. Watching these people that don't like, bro. Sometimes things come to an end. It runs its course, innit? Like
you say this,
But
but
Tottenham never had a run. Tottenham
That's
never
what I'm
had a
saying.
run.
It's not like they've been winning trophies. So to sit there and say Tottenham should be doing this and doing that,
It makes no
I don't know
sense.
what we're basing this on, because if they're not a team that's not won a
No, but no, wait,
they've not
no.
won a cup since 08, 07, and then 08, because they won the League Cup back to back.
Ironically, that's where you leave it.
But we're talking about consistent. They're not being consistent high finishers, but we're talking about we're talking about consistent finishing in European places near there, innit? Like, when's the last time Tottenham finished below the 10th or below 7th, 8th, and then places there?
Well,
I can't personally remember it, innit?
7th.
They finished near. What I'm saying is they finish up close to the them places there, innit? Like
European spots.
After a while,
I'd say you would argue that their level to be honest, is finishing the top 4.
That's their level.
If we're being honest, let's be honest. What history are we going off that they should be winning the league, or he should even be winning cups? There's no.
Why should they get rid of? So why should they get rid of Antonio Conte if they're doing the same thing that they've always been doing?
I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying his football is very negative. I'm saying a lot of their fans have come out and said they want different. Like I say, you could bring an attacking coach. It's not necessarily going to change anything. It's not going to make you lot world leaders. Like I say, you could probably send Guardiola there. It's still going to take a long time before you get a team that he would be happy with to consistently say challenge for a title, which is what I'd say the issue is. It's
a mentality. It's not even a team anymore. It's a whole mentality shift. Their team is not built for winning. Straight up. Even Jose said it, bro.
But then, like I say, if their captain's the England captain as well, then boy, that says something about England too, because you've got a man that's not a winner.
Well, he's vice captain at Tottenham. Remember, Luis is captain.
Oh yeah, okay, he's vice captain, but
he's vice captain.
He's your top guy, and
like I'm not being funny. Yeah, we talk about mentality. Yeah, you got like France's World Cup winning like captain. Like he leads your.
They've not got problems in their team. Like they've got very good players in their team.
Bentancur. He's a very good midfielder.
Kulusevski.
Wait, Dan, how many serial winners do they have in their squad? Like a Casemiro or somebody who's just known for just winning. Well, they brought in Perisic.
They got a World Cup winner, in it.
I'm talking about for club football. And even though club football, that was to 2018, and he's now 4 years on. I didn't win anything at Tottenham beforehand.
No, I'm just saying he's a World Cup winner, isn't it? Like, so it's one of those ones you got to kind of look at.
World Cup, he's won the Nations League, no? He's won trophies, no?
So the goalkeeper.
Harry Kane. If we go for it, Harry Kane doesn't win nothing. Oh, I hate when it does this one. 1 second, let me come out of this because. Right.
Like you got a Champions League winner in Højbjerg in the squad. Like, you know, like I don't think like sometimes like the coach has to take responsibility. Like Højbjerg was like I think it was his first season at Bayern. He won the Champions League, if I'm not mistaken. Like Bentancur was at Juventus. He was winning stuff. Like, well, like how far does the madness go? Like, you know, you got players who have won stuff. Like, you know, the bloody the French centre back. He was at Barca winning stuff. Like, how far does the madness go?
Perisic.
Serial winner. Like, was he not a winner? He was at Inter, no? He won a league title at Inter, no? Or something? No?
I think so. Yes, I'm sure they won a title.
You won it with Antonio Conte.
Yeah, like, you know.
Yeah, because then if you look at it, Son's not long.
The guy was in the last World Cup final, no?
Like I say, if you look at their team,
you got Richarlison, yeah, who's essentially when fit, he's Brazil's #1 striker.
But what did he win? Like, bruv, he was in a relegation battle, fam. This is what I'm saying. It's the mentality. You know when someone, okay. Do you know, for example,
there's players who have been world class, yeah, not one Jack Pup, you know. Look at great that Dutch teams of the past and probably the future haven't won nothing.
No, we're talking about Tottenham as a whole. We're talking about Tottenham as a whole, yeah, and the Tottenham as a whole is a mentality. I remember when it was at Chelsea, we'll go after 10 years, we'll go through so many different managers. The reason why a lot of them were even though they may not have been the greatest managers, half of them, the reason why they were still winning is because the squad that they had and the mentality that we had as a squad was so strong, yeah, that regardless of the manager, and bro, we could have a dead manager in charge. We could even have nobody and potentially still wins at least a cup somewhere because there's a mentality shift. With Tottenham, yeah, they can, bro. I'm telling you this now, yeah. Tottenham, yeah, can have Man City squad, and I don't think they'll win anything, literally anything, because it's the whole mentality up there that it's
I
completely
think
different. It's been up for the last 10 years.
I think it's a process which is slowly being changed. Like obviously the training ground, the stadium, like it's a slow process. So nothing
I
changes
think there's
overnight.
a process of doing that. So I think long term you'll see a totally different change. But like I say, it's going to get to the point where even then, I think they'll still struggle for now. Because like I say, even you can bring in, like I say, you can bring Guardiola in. It's not going to impact them straight away. I think that's a team where there's a lot more that needs to be done.
They couldn't match that financially, man.
But
They
here's
will
what I
do.
say. That's what I've always said about Guardiola, though. Put him in a team where he hasn't got that kind of budget, or he ain't in a team that's already winning, and you'll see the difference. Like I say, his only trophyless season was his first season at Man
The
City.
thing is, don't get it twisted. I think if you gave him, if he had a period where he knew he weren't getting sacked for a few seasons, I think after a while he could build a team like without the bread.
I don't think that's the case. Like I don't think that's the case personally. Like he's a manager with needs cash. Like
Yeah, he spent over £1 billion.
like he's not. He's like I'll put it like this. He's not Ferguson. That's what I will say. He's not Ferguson. And before anyone says, "Oh, Ferguson had money at United," he was also at Aberdeen.
Yeah,
And won a European trophy.
beat
So
Real Madrid in the final.
there you go. Say no more.
But he had a
no,
thing
no,
where
no.
he- as
So
well.
there you
But
go.
like I say, I'm not
Didn't
going
he
to
win the
sit there.
Scottish Cup or something as well?
I'm not going to sit there and shit and say
I know that's
Guardiola's
not nothing
a
to
good
brag
manager.
about, but fuck it.
I'll sit there and say I'm not going to say Pep Guardiola ain't a great coach, because he is. But like I say, we've never seen him do it with a team who is like a mid-table or has no money. Like so,
You can't do
he
it.
went to Barcelona. It was a dominant team already. Made them even, like I say, he made them more dominant. Then he went to Bayern Munich,
Ferguson's a manager, Guardiola is
and
a
then he
coach.
went to City. Like I say, at City he spent over $1 billion. I think they said he
Ferguson's
spent
a manager,
over $4 billion
Guardiola's a coach.
Mate, he
I
spent
agree.
he spent over 300 million on left and right backs, mate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He
Say
spent
no-
a huge amount.
say no more. Like so, this is the thing. Like obviously, you need the structure. Obviously, Tottenham are building the structure. I'm not gonna say that obviously they're
That's
gonna
why I
win something
say
eventually,
long
but they're
term. That's why
building. Like you have to
when
look
you
at the
look,
process. Like if you look at their stadium, it's probably the best stadium in the country. It's not the biggest, but it's probably
100%.
the best. Like if you look at it,
It probably brings in the most revenue as well, because obviously they do the American football thing there as well, and then obviously the sporting events for like boxing and stuff.
you know. So it's all a slow process. Like obviously they'll get there. Like
They will get there, bro. You're looking at Newcastle and teams like that. Man United, Liverpool
mean,
might get new owners as well.
Right, so
They're not getting there, fam. It's too late.
to be quite honest, I think with like as you mentioned Liverpool, I think the whole thing, the cycle, I think is slowly coming to an end. Obviously, Salah will turn up for the big games as he does, but yeah, I think the cycle's done. That they haven't replaced the players they used to replace, point blank. Like Chelsea, they've got a chance, but it's all about Todd, isn't it? What does Todd do? You know, is Todd going to be Todd and there's like, because I'm sure he'll sack Potter soon enough, and then they're going to be
How
back
do
to
you know?
square one. Mate, look at the team's performance.
I'm about to hit and record you once again. So carry on.
Yeah, look
Yeah,
how the team's performing.